Tunisia has been at the crossroads of civilizations for millennia and is a diverse and fascinating place to travel to. It's the smallest nation in North Africa, but boasts enough history, culture, and natural beauty to match countries many times its size. With its spectacular coastline, it's often seen as a beach holiday destination. But travel a little further, and you'll discover a country full of vibrant urban centers, ancient archaeological sites, traditional cultures, delicious food, and friendly, welcoming people. In this video, I'm traversing Tunisia on one of the most surprising and rewarding journeys I have undertaken. From the bustling streets of capital Tunis to intriguing Berber villages like Takrouna and Tamezret, from secluded desert oases near Tozeur to the imposing Great Mosque of Kairouan, from historic sites in Jem and Carthage to the long beaches of Sousse, from the rolling dunes of the Sahara to the mountains around Tataouine, and from the lively, narrow alleys of Sfax's Medina to the friendly villages of Djerba Island. So join me exploring the incredible country of Tunisia. We begin this journey in Tunis, the vibrant capital and largest city in Tunisia. It's the political and commercial center of the country, but also brims with culture and traditions. Located at the intersection of civilizations for centuries, Tunis is influenced by Arabic, African and European cultures, which created a charismatic city full of contrasts. Most travelers start exploring Tunis in the narrow streets of the Medina, the historic center that has been the beating heart of the city for over 1,000 years. From quiet lanes with beautifully decorated homes and doors, to busy alleys lined with stores and workshops, the Medina is truly a world in itself. The best way to explore the Medina is to simply get lost and let your instincts guide you. Along the way, you will discover hidden monuments and palaces, taste some of the delicious food, and meet the curious and welcoming people.
Dates. This mandola. Mandola.
مش على القاسطة Mlewi, a very good Mlewi, Tunis. Very, very good.
The market areas are divided into several souks, where generations of artisans and workers have traded and produced their craft. From the gold and jewelry souk to neighborhoods full of workshops creating traditional clothes and sandals. There's even a street dedicated to mixing and testing perfumes.
Welcome to Tunisia.
At the very center of the Medina stands the impressive Al Zaytuna Mosque, translating as Mosque of Olives. Founded in the 8th century, the original building was restored and expanded several times and remains an important place of worship. If you stay overnight in Tunis, a great way to do so is in a traditional dar. Some of these ancient townhouses are renovated into boutique hotels and provide a unique insight into local history and hospitality. As you walk towards the edges of the Medina, you'll notice the streets are getting wider until you reach the newer parts of Tunis.
هذيك الحسيبه هذه
Often called Ville Nouvelle or New City, many of the buildings here were constructed during French colonial rule. It's a lively area, filled with shops, offices, restaurants and markets, including the bustling Marché Central, where everything under the Tunisian sun is sold.
Welcome.
Make sure to stroll along the Avenue Habib Bourguiba, a popular boulevard for both locals and tourists, and pay a visit to the cathedral of Saint Vincent de Paul. Other notable landmarks include the Casbah Monument, celebrating Tunisia's independence from France. The abandoned Hotel du Lac, and the modern City of Culture, which houses a theater, cinema, and museums. We leave downtown Tunis behind and travel to one of its most famous suburbs. Founded by the Phoenicians in the 9th century BC, the ancient city of Carthage evokes the imagination of many people. Once a maritime powerhouse and cosmopolitan trading hub, Carthage was one of the wealthiest cities in the classical world. That fortune, however, slowly faded during the infamous Punic Wars, with the Roman Empire eventually conquering and destroying the city. Although Carthage was rebuilt several times after, under Roman, Byzantine and Arab rule, it gradually lost significance. Today, visitors can explore the partly excavated ruins, including Bursa Hill and the Punic Port. Not far from here is Sidi Bou Said, a charming coastal village known for its blue-white buildings. Built on top of a hill overlooking the Mediterranean, it's among the most picturesque spots in Tunisia. Traditionally, Sidi Bou Said attracted many writers and artists, and while they are still here, it's now mostly tourists that visit the town.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Le fleur du jasmin. C'est le fleur du jasmin. Yasmine.
Despite its popularity, it remains a friendly place. And it's easy to spend a few hours strolling the narrow alleys and discovering the quiet back streets. And as you climb a little higher and take a few unexpected turns, you may well find the village to yourself. We continue our journey and travel inland to the Berber village of Takrouna. With its strategic hilltop location, it offers sweeping vistas of the surrounding landscape, dotted with rural fields and olive tree groves. The Berber people, also called Amazigh, are indigenous to the Maghreb region of North Africa and have been living here for centuries. They are known for their strong ties to the land, sense of community, and hospitality. While few people still live here, the upper village provides an interesting insight into the traditional Berber culture and way of life. We return to the coast to visit the third largest city in Tunisia. While Sousse is famous for its beaches and holiday resorts, it also boasts a beautiful medina and some of the country's most intriguing monuments and museums. Sousse used to be one of Tunisia's most popular beach destinations, attracting visitors from afar. All that changed in 2015, however, after a devastating terror attack took place on one of the resorts. As a result, Tunisia's tourism sector rapidly declined and has seen only mild recovery in the past few years. Walking down the beach, you will reach the historic part of Sousse, with the ancient medina at its core.
Photo, yes, photo. Is my boutique is Le Boucherie. Très bien.
Très bien, très très
نربحوا
bien.
PSG ونربحوا مارسيليا.
الله يربح ليتوال يا دولة.
A warren of narrow alleyways, the medina is a fascinating place to get lost in and absorb the sights and sounds of daily life happening around you. From the busy souks selling everything from daily groceries to souvenirs, to the quiet back streets that breathe an almost mysterious charm. sure to try some of the delicious food, such as couscous, in homey restaurants, and stop for tea or coffee in one of the local cafes.
Bienvenue à Sousse au Café Casbah. Bienvenue.
Located at the lower entrance of the Medina stands the Ribat, one of Sousse's most recognizable monuments. Dating from the 8th century, this fortified structure initially served as a base for military volunteers, and later also protected commercial trading routes. So I'm now standing at the watchtower of the Ribat, the Islamic fortress that is protecting the city, historically at least. It's now providing a beautiful overview of the Medina as well as the new city. Splendid views. Perched on a hill, on the opposite side of the Medina, is another landmark of Sousse, the massive Kasbah. While impressive indeed, it's what's inside that attracts most visitors. This is the site of the magnificent Sousse Archaeological Museum, which holds the second largest collection of mosaics in Tunisia, after the Bardo Museum, which was closed at the time of visiting. Dating from Punic, Roman and early Christian periods, the mosaics are true pieces of ancient artwork and are stunning in both size and detail. Just southeast from Sousse is Monastir, a friendly coastal city with panoramic views over the Mediterranean. Probably the best vantage point is from the tower of the local Ribat, the oldest of its kind in the region, built by Arab conquerors in the 8th century. Apart from admiring the scenery and structure itself, the Ribat also houses an interesting museum and is regularly used as a film set. Across from here is the impressive mausoleum of Habib Bourguiba, the final resting place of one of Tunisia's most famous figures. Born in Monastir, Bourguiba led his country to independence from France in 1956 and ruled the country for 3 decades after. He died in the year 2000, but is still regarded by many as the father of the nation. Our next destination is El Jem, a small town that contains one of Tunisia's most splendid historic landmarks. At the very heart of the village stands the massive El Jem Amphitheater, the third largest in the world. Reminding of the Colosseum in Rome, it is one of the best preserved Roman ruins and unique in Africa. Built in the 3rd century in what was then the town of Tisdres, the amphitheater was made entirely of stone blocks without a clear foundation. The 3 levels of arcades could hold up to 35,000 people who would be cheering and chanting for the unfortunate gladiators and animals in the arena. You can visit most parts of the theater, climb to the upper seating levels, and also explore the underground passageways. And while it's a popular place with tour groups and school classes, in some parts of the day it feels you have the entire theater to yourself. We travel onwards to Kairouan, considered the 4th holiest city in Islam, after Mecca, Medina, and Jerusalem. At the core of the city stands the magnificent Great Mosque of Kairouan, which remains an important place of worship. In fact, for Muslims, a visit to Kairouan is considered the equivalent of 1/7 the pilgrimage to Mecca. The mosque was founded in the year 670 AD and was damaged and rebuilt several times during the centuries. It is one of the largest Islamic monuments in North Africa and served as a model for later mosques in the Maghreb region. As a visitor, it's easy to spend a few hours here, wandering through the courtyard and past prayer rooms, admiring the architecture and decoration. Kairouan also offers a captivating historic medina with winding narrow lanes that wait to be explored. On the way, you'll pass colorful homes in residential areas, and if you're lucky, discover hidden shrines and classic dar buildings. age-old bakeries producing traditional bread contrast with hipster cafes selling French crepes and croissants.
Hi, I'm Yusuf. This is Saeed, and welcome to Kairouan.
And all this time you'll hear the sound of artisans at work, creating a wide variety of products. Most notably beautifully handmade carpets, for which the city is famous. We drive further inland and briefly stop in Sidi Bou Said, a modest town that became the starting point of one of the largest revolutions of our time. In 2010, a local fruit seller named Mohammed Bouazizi set himself on fire after his goods were seized by the authorities. What followed was months and years of protests that spread to other parts of Tunisia and the wider region, eventually culminating in the so-called Arab Spring. Today, a small but respectful monument reminds people of what happened here. We continue our journey and traverse the northern edge of the Sahara Desert, all the way to Tozeur, close to the border with Algeria. Reaching this far-flung outpost proved quite a challenge, as a powerful sandstorm suddenly picked up. After finally reaching the city, a hearty homemade meal and a good night's sleep, the weather improved the next day. Tozeur is a friendly place that feels distinctly different from other regions in Tunisia. Historically an important stopping point for caravans crossing the Sahara, it grew into a small city over the years.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Ça harissa.
Harissa.
Harissa. Ça curcuma. Ça likuma.
Today you can admire some of the traditional architecture by strolling through the old Medina. Buildings here are made from clay and mud bricks and often follow an intricate geometric design. Also worth visiting is the enormous date palm plantation on the edge of town, the Tozeur oasis. With several 100,000 trees, it is one of the largest production sites for dates in the country. While Tozeur is a charming place, many travelers come here to witness the surrounding desert scenery. The best way to get here is by joining a tour or hiring an expert local driver. Through remote desert landscape, with outliers of the Atlas Mountains in the backdrop, we arrive in Chibika village, home to an almost surreal oasis. Although the ancient village is now abandoned, small Berber communities still live in the modern part of Chibika, mostly working in the tourism sector.
Welcome to Chibika. My name is Hassan Zamouri. This is a local figure from Chibika. Original is Berber. Hassan Zamouri is Oliven. Welcome to Chibika.
Some parts are quite narrow here in Chibika. Hiking through the narrow gorge past streams of flowing water and small waterfalls is an experience not to be missed. Shukran. Salam. Other places around Tozeur include the massive canyons of Mides, a waterfall near Tamezret, and the remote area of Onkjemal, which is home to an abandoned Star Wars film set. This bizarre place can only be reached by four-wheel drive and gives a peculiar behind-the-scenes look of one of the world's most popular movie series. We leave the Tozeur region behind and cross the vast Chott el Jerid, the largest salt pan in the Sahara. With its harsh climate and lack of natural resources, this mostly dried up salt lake is so barren, it is almost mysteriously beautiful. Driving here can also feel eerie, with sporadic cars passing. And the only human activity in sight, a salt production facility. On the other side of Chott el Jerid lies Sabria, a small settlement that is regarded as the local gateway to the Sahara. Just outside the village, in between massive sand dunes, lies a phenomenal tent camp, where tourists can spend the night in the desert. So made it to the edge of the Sahara, not far from Sousse and Sabria, here in Tunisia, of course. I'm staying in this camp behind me. Absolutely beautiful place, very peaceful. Arriving here feels like stepping into a different world, with glimpses of nomadic lifestyles and ancient Bedouin culture welcoming you. Whether it's riding a camel, sipping tea at sunset, or simply soaking up the authentic atmosphere and mesmerizing landscape, this place will leave a strong impression. In the evenings, dinners are served that include a piece of fresh, traditional flatbread, cooked buried under hot sand, and a small fire. After spending the night in style, with the Saharan winds picking up again, it was time to travel to the next destination. Good morning from the same camp, however with a very different atmosphere. The wind has picked up substantially in the night. I'm going to leave soon, after breakfast though. Driving east, we pass Tamezret, a fortified Berber village that contains many cave-like or troglodyte houses. It's a fascinating place to wander around, take in the views, and get a sense of traditional Berber life. The highlight is probably the intriguing museum, where you can maneuver through the underground rooms, learning about local customs and culture. We continue our way and change direction southwards, crossing the beautiful mountain village Tozeur, to reach the region of Tataouine, known for its rugged mountain landscape, charming villages, and peculiar Ksar buildings. It was quite a drive today, but with a special ending. I'm standing in Ksar Hadada, a traditional building, but also the setting for a Star Wars movie. And now it's also restored as a hotel. So let's have a look. Traditionally, Ksar were built as fortified villages in North Africa, usually in regions inhabited by Berber communities. They typically consist of structures functioning as houses, shops, bakeries, and large granaries, or gorfa. Vaulted rooms used to store grain. Whether or not you're a Star Wars fan, Ksar Hadada is a magical place to visit, and if you have the chance, also to spend the night. Perhaps one of Tunisia's most picturesque villages, Chenini is another great example of traditional troglodyte housing. Built on top of a ridge in the 12th century, overlooking the surrounding valleys and mountains, its strategic location proved vital to protect food reserves and control trade routes. Strolling through the village, exploring the narrow pathways and hidden homes, is an adventure in itself. Mostly abandoned today, some families still live here, and travelers can enjoy food and drinks in a friendly cafe. Our last stop in the Tataouine area is Ksar Ouled Soltane, one of the largest of its kind. Ksar is spread over 2 courtyards, and some buildings consist of 4 levels, connected by stairs. We continue our journey and arrive on Djerba, one of Tunisia's most popular destinations, and for good reason. This island offers a wide array of sights and activities and feels very different from mainland Tunisia. Many tourists come here to enjoy the long and beautiful coastline, and there are plenty of luxury resorts that cater for these wishes. Staying in one of these hotels is an experience in itself, with beautifully decorated corridors, large pools, private beaches, and restaurants that offer an abundance of choices. venture further along the shore, and there are many other things to do and discover, including water sports like kitesurfing, strolling along small fishing ports, or joining a sailing tour on a pirate ship. Djerba's largest town, Souk, has an attractive historic center that provides ample opportunity to explore. From narrow alleyways and covered markets to hidden caravanserai, used as resting places for traveling merchants in ancient times. Around the corner, vibrant street markets offer anything from clothes and shoes to spices and handicrafts, and give a good insight into local culture and lifestyles. Make sure to try some of the food here, including freshly made brick, one of Tunisia's most famous dishes. Praised as a place of coexistence, Djerba is also known for its ethnic and religious diversity. While most of its population are Muslim and Berber, a small Jewish community continues to live here as well. Probably the most recognizable feature of Jewish life on the island is the beautiful Al Griba synagogue, located in the small town of Riyadh. The current building was constructed in the 19th century, but religious legend goes back as far as 2,600 years, which would make it one of the oldest synagogues in Africa. A few hundred meters from here, and not to be missed, is Djerba, a charming neighborhood with quiet cobblestone alleys that feature some incredible wall art and murals. The result of a 2014 international art project, which brought together artists from 30 different nationalities. Djerba is now a popular place for tourists. the south of Djerba we stop in Guellala, renowned as a center for pottery and ceramics. The main street is lined with stores selling magnificent artwork, with some giving demonstrations of this ancient craft. Around 450 local potters are said to be active in and around the village, and some workshops go back many generations.
Vous êtes bienvenus à Guellala.
Although you can spend many more days, if not weeks, exploring Djerba Island, it was now time to travel to our final destination. We finish our journey in Sfax, the second largest city in Tunisia, and an important commercial and industrial center. While it may not have the same variety of tourist sites as other places in the country, it more than makes up for it with a generous, open attitude.
Bienvenue à Sfax. La vie au poisson.
Ça, l'Afrique, c'est de la Tunisie. C'est bon, bon.
The center of daily life, and probably the most interesting place to visit, is the 1200-year-old Medina. Surrounded by imposing walls, the historic streets breathe character and are a joy to explore. The bustling fruit and vegetable markets are a hive of activity, with vendors offering their fresh produce to crowds of customers. Now walking through Sfax, the second largest city in Tunisia. It's quite lively today. This is the main Medina, the historic center, with a beautiful atmosphere. Move a little further and it's a whole different scene, with quiet back alleys leading to small workshops, where people produce clothes, shoes and other products. At the very heart of the medina stands the impressive Great Mosque, a beautiful structure that is still used as a place of worship. Other notable monuments include the Kasbah fortress, offering an intriguing museum and great views over this friendly city. And that concludes my journey through Tunisia, a diverse and eye-opening travel destination, with ancient historic landmarks, fascinating traditions, spectacular natural scenery, important religious sites, vibrant urban centers, intriguing villages, wonderful food, and friendly people. I realize I have only scratched the surface, and you could spend months exploring this beautiful North African country. Yet I still hope this video gave you some travel inspiration, or at least provided a glimpse into this incredible place. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Travel safely.